Then the Quran further tells us that while you are learning, you have to make sure that you go in depth of knowledge. We know that according to Muslim scholars, jihad is sixth pillar of Islam. Without it, Islam is not complete. Yet the ayah, which has a context of jihad, tells us that not all of you should go for jihad, which is obligatory. Some of you may stay back to do what? To watch television, to exchange social media jokes, to sleep. Do what? The Quran says they have to devote themselves solely for in-depth لِيَتَفَقَّهُوا فِي الدِّينِ. Tafaqquh fi Deen means that they must get the most deep knowledge of Deen. And Deen is not confined to Quran and Sunnah. Deen means total way of life. So they need to do in-depth research in the Quran, in Fiqh, in Hadith, in all aspects that relate with the understanding of these two sources. At the same time, human being is a book, is an ayah, and therefore they have to make sure that this ayah is properly studied, which means study of human being not only from biological viewpoint, not only from psychological viewpoint, sociological viewpoint, but comprehensive understanding. What is the role of spirituality for the human being? All empirical sciences we teach in our universities for last 200 years talk about human being as a physical object, but never as a moral being, ethical being, which the Quran tells us. We have to change our approach completely. Islam has given a new vision of man, and that vision is that human being is essentially an ethical being, not an animal. All social sciences define human being in terms of animality. So we say social animal, psychological animal, economic animal, an animal driven by his drives and hungers, Sigmund Freud and many others. This animality is condemned by the Quran. The Quran says we have made human being fi ahsani taqweem, in best possible mold. And then it says that the very first human being was given the right to judge, select between what is right and wrong. Therefore, when Sayyidina Adam, misguided by Iblis, approached the tree, then he was exercising his ethical power, not animal power, not economic power, not social power, which is the basis of all social sciences. Therefore, human being in Islam is essentially an ethical being, and that's why ethics cannot be separated from every single discipline. So here the Quran tells us that you have to conduct in-depth research. If someone has to write a paper which he or she thinks should go in a high quality journal, what do? Do we just go to Wikipedia and some few outlets which provide knowledge which is digitalized, and based on those websites cut and paste and make an article and say this is my contribution and send it to a journal? Is that ethical and moral? Is that what's meant by tafaqquh fi Deen, in-depth understanding? Or a person must explore as much as possible. The more you have review literature, the more you enrich your research. Very simple principle. Therefore, in any research project, first thing we look into is what is review literature, how much the person is aware of what's happening around? Is he just using some archaic books, or most modern research papers, literature, other source of information, and based on that he is driving his own ideas? So, لِتَفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ means it is not a matter of just knowing about fiqh al-tahara, fiqh al-usra, fiqh al-uqubat and so on and so forth, but it's a matter of the whole research approach. Consequently, a research culture is developed by the Quran and Sunnah based on this single ayah. لِتَفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ, تَفَقَّهُ فِي الدِّينِ.